Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at a unique weapon, legendary weapon actually, called the Despondent Assassin. You get this one from completing the quest line in Aquila's City from Davis Wilson. It starts with defensive measures and ends with leader of the pack. It's a fairly short quest line. It's quite interesting. There's a lot of gunplay in it. It's really simple to do. You do have to do a little bit of waiting, but you get this one at the end. So I'm not a fan of the older hunting rifle. I did a video on the base version and I wasn't pleasant about it. I freely admit that. So this is going to be an interesting one. Let's see, base damage of 187. The ammo is the same as the original rifle, so 9x39mm, 12 round magazine, 76 range, 40 rate of fire, 87.9% accuracy, 3 mod slots, 2 of which are already filled. It's worth quite a bit apparently, I'll believe that when I see it. Because this is a legendary rifle, we get all 3 traits available to us. This one comes with demoralizing, which gives us a small chance to demoralize the target. I think that makes him run away. Hitman, so we get 15% damage when aiming, so aim down the sights and you'll get extra damage. And anti-personnel, 10% damage to humans. Always handy. Ironically, the quest I picked to showcase this one has got nothing to do with human beings at all, but never mind. This one comes pre-installed with the small magazine and the high-powered setting, so that ups the damage a little bit. We will have a look on a weapons bench. Let's find the Despondent. Let's see what we can add to it. In the laser settings we have either nothing, which is already installed, or you can equip the laser sight, which will increase the accuracy by about 1%. Magazine, it's got the small magazine installed. You can replace that with a standard, which ups your magazine count, ammo count to 20, or you can fit the armor piercing rounds, which raises the magazine to 20 and increases the damage by a significant amount. It's about 18 points of extra damage there, so well worth it. For the internal settings, you can either go with the no mod, high velocity, which increases accuracy and range, high power, which is already installed, which just increases your damage done, or the hair trigger, which increases the fire rate. And that's the other one, is just your skin, which you can't mess about with at all. So the options are limited, but it's an old style weapon, so you were never going to get all the bells and whistles that a lot of your other weapons will offer you. So let's give this one a whirl and see what we can do with it. Probably not a lot, to be perfectly honest. We are doing the quest Run the Red Mile, for anybody that's interested. So lots of beasts between here and there. We go further. I am level 104. The animals around here should all be close to my level. Combat skill points. I have 1 point in ballistics, so that will raise my damage by 10%. I have 1 point in rifle certifications, so that's another 10% damage. I have 2 in targeting, which affects my hip fire accuracy and range. For the most part we'll be trying to use the scope for this, so that shouldn't come into play. And I have 2 in reloading, so my reloading speed is up by 30%. Other than that, I have nothing. So if you're comparing your talents to mine, what you see is what you get. I really should start working on my combat talents. Right, insane jump, and let's see what problems we can find. Might have been a little bit quicker to use the elevator, but never mind. Try not to break my legs on the way down. There we go. Oh, you're a little low level. Let's hold our breath. Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Now I'm being critical. I shouldn't be critical. The older Earth hunting rifle is a nice looking rifle, but it's just so weak. I don't know why they made it quite as weak as they did. There really wasn't a need for it. They could have made it a little bit more powerful. Again, this could be me. I could be doing something wrong with it. If you get along with it, then you know, fantastic. I'm pleased for you. Obviously, I'm not messing about with the settings, so if there's a setting that will increase this thing and make it a much more usable weapon, then go for that. But I've literally just got this thing to drop. I've left it in my inventory, picked it up today, and decided to run the video on it. So it's just as I got given it. So he's a little bit higher level. Seems like the silencer does seem to work. Don't run away. One thing I do give it is this: the reload speed's good. You can fire a little faster when you're doing hip firing, but that might be my talents coming into play a bit there. Reloading would be a good idea. You can still fire quite quickly with the scope. I will say that the legendary version is an upgrade over the base version that I did a while back. So if you find that video, you can do a direct comparison. It does feel like it's got a bit more firepower to it. So that is something. The base version was very, very lacking. It was horrible to use. But the fact that you've got to expend an entire magazine to take one animal down is a little concerning. I think they could have probably done with either increasing the magazine size . You miss a lot when you're hip firing. That's interesting. Missed me. It's like I say, it's better than the base version, but that's about as much of a compliment as I can realistically give this weapon. When you compare it to some of the other rifles that would be classed as sniper rifles, then see, you're looking at what would be the best comparison here. You've got your hard target, you've got your mag sniper. Another unique weapon that we haven't covered yet in the Hunter Wolf. All of those will actually deal much more damage than this thing. They're easier to come by as well. I mean, like, I'm doing this on beasts, so that's something to consider. The traits on this thing are set up for human opponents, so if you're clearing a base, then that stat increase will probably come into play quite heavily. I mean, 10% is not to be sniffed at. So, and that won't work on these obviously, but that wasn't nice. But when you're dealing with human beings, then that extra 10% damage could be the telling difference between success and failure. Again, that's just my interpretation of it. It's a fairly stable rifle, I'll give it that. I mean, rapid firing down the scope is not the easiest job in the world, but it does the job okay. A lot of weapons, when you start spamming the fire button, the scope does tend to wobble around quite heavily. This one, it's not massively stable, but it's stable enough. We've done the quest, and we've just got to run ourselves back, so we'll encounter more beasts on the way. But we won't progress further than that, because this is it's showcased as much as you really want to see it. I mean, it's got a silencer, no question on that. It's a stable weapon. It's a definite upgrade over the base version for obvious reasons. It's a legendary rifle, so it's not easy to come by. Well, it is easy to come by, but you're going to have to work to get it. Although it won't cost you anything, so that's a good thing. I do think you could probably find a better variant just by random generation. But when you consider that the hitman damage is 15% while you're aiming down the scope, always worth it. The anti-personnel, if you're clearing bases, clearing ships, then that 10% bonus will probably be quite a telling factor. That's extra damage that I wasn't claiming there because I'm facing beasts. So, little things to keep in mind. But if you're doing sort of an old school build, your sort of sheriff type setup or something like that, then this is your perfect weapon to go in that kit. If you've gotten yourself all the old school stuff, then this will work well with that build. The fact that it does have the built-in silencer is actually quite a plus, because it doesn't seem to take away from any damage, and you don't need a mod slot to decide whether you want it or not. You've got it straight away, so that is a plus. Often when you put a silencer, you'll tend to lose either range or accuracy, so they've taken that into consideration and fitted it straight away, so that's a good thing. There's no zoom on the scope, which is a bit of an unfortunate thing. I wish there was some way to upgrade that to give us a zoom capability so that we can come in and out, especially when you think that this is actually set up to be a sniper rifle. So, but plus and minuses. It's not for me. I wouldn't, beyond doing this video for it, I won't be using it. It'll just go into my collection, or since I'll probably be rolling around again in new game, this will probably just get lost to space and time. But if you like this sort of weapon, or you've been using the base version and you wanted a legendary one to mess about with, so you got all the extra traits and the increased stats, then Cheyenne system, Aquila City, you'll find Davis Wilson having an argument with someone called Keone in one of the streets somewhere near the Rock. If you speak to them all, you'll start the quest line. It's really, really simple. It's quite good fun too, and you'll get to blow up some Ashter as well, which is quite entertaining, especially if you've got a nice grenade launcher to mess about with. So yeah, there we go. That is the Despondent Assassin Legendary Rifle. Hope you enjoyed that. I've tried to keep it as factual as I can. I tried not to be too negative about it. I don't make any secret of the fact that I'm not a fan of the old school rifle, the hunting rifle. I quite like the assault rifle, but I'm not a fan of the hunting rifle. But it's still worth giving it a good comparison and a little bit of a showcase as well. So there. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, a thumbs up would be hugely appreciated. Subscribe if you want to. At time of recording this, I believe I was at 40 subscribers, so a huge thank you to everybody that's subscribed to me. I hope you're enjoying the videos. If you've got weapons that you want me to try and showcase, or a quest line that you want me to do a video on, then I'm happy to listen. If you've got suggestions on future games, I'm all ears. I'm trying to figure out how to set up a Twitch stream for Euro Truck Simulator and Farming Simulator, so those will be games I'll be trying to cover down the line. I'm also thinking about 7 Days to Die and doing a playthrough on that, because it's been some time since I played that game, so that might be fun. But I'm always happy to listen. If you've got criticisms about what I'm doing, then leave a comment. I'm happy to listen. I don't take it personally. Not everybody is going to like what I'm doing. Some people do, obviously, because I'm getting subscribers and views, but it's not everybody's thing. I accept that. But I will try and take on any criticisms or suggestions. If you've got this weapon and you've got it set up differently to what the base does and it comes out better, then leave me the details and I'll happily look them over. It'll be quite an interesting read to see what damage increases you can get out of it, or how you think it handles compared to how I think it handles. Again, everybody's different. Everybody plays differently. Everybody uses their weapons differently. I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't use this weapon. It is just my own personal opinions. There we go. I will leave that one there. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.